Hi, everyone. Coach Anna Kojac here. I'm your mental toughness coach for all things gymnastics. And today I want to talk to you about a very important topic, which is overcoming obstacles. Now, you are all faced with different obstacles at this time. It could be just the obstacle of having to deal with things that have changed from COVID, whether your gym is not open, whether you're not competing like you should, whether, practices just feel different or you're wearing masks and things like that. It could be that you're learning a new skill and you're afraid. Maybe you keep bumping up against fear, right? You're trying to learn a skill and it's just hard. Maybe you need to, you want to test out of a level and level up to the next level, but you need a certain skill and you're trying to learn that in time and you're just having trouble getting it. Maybe you're going through a mental block on a skill that you could previously do and now all of a sudden you can't. That's a huge obstacle. So any of those things, and it could be anything else that you're going through, are big obstacles that can really stop us in our tracks, and they can make it hard for us to just feel good about things in gymnastics and just good about life. We can, start to get upset about them and let them really hurt us or get us down, get us feeling sad and upset. And that's normal. That's okay. But we have to be able to move through it. So today I'm giving you 2 tips for overcoming obstacles in gymnastics. These tips will really help you. So I want you to take notes if you have to, but really listen up. If you're listening or watching something else, turn it off. I want you to hear me, okay? So tip number 1 is that you have to be willing to change. And just let that sink in for a second. You have to be willing to change. In order to overcome an obstacle, you have to change. You have to, because in order to grow, you have to change. Growth does not happen without change. And what happens is you come across an obstacle and you keep doing the same thing, keep trying the same thing. Your mindset is the same. You're doing the same thing and it's not working and you're getting frustrated and it's hard and you're not able to overcome this obstacle because you have not changed at all. Nothing has changed. You just keep working harder and you're pushing against it and you're thinking, okay, I'll just keep trying and trying and trying. But if you're not changing, you're never going to get past this obstacle. So what do I mean by change? So let's say you are trying to learn a back handspring on beam. And you can do it on low beam, but you get to high beam and you just can't. You're just afraid. And every time you get up there, you're like, okay, I'm going to do it today. And you just can't. So in order to overcome that, you can't keep just trying the way you've been trying. You can't just keep doing it on low beam and then going, okay, I can do it. I'm going to go to high beam and do it today. Because that's not helping. You're not changing. You're not growing. Nothing is changing. What you need to do is change your mindset. You need to look at it differently. You need to grow. So what that might mean is you might have to spend some time before you go to bed every night, visualizing the skill in your mind, visualizing yourself doing your back handspring on beam, on the high beam. You might have to write down affirmations in the morning, building your confidence up, telling you that things are going to be okay. You might have to spend time doing that. You might have to overcome your fear of talking to your coach, and you might have to sit down with him or her and have a conversation and say, listen, I want to learn the skill, but I can't this way. I need something different. What can we do? Or maybe maybe that you need those mats there, or you need a spot more often. Whatever it is, you have to overcome that fear of talking to your coach and telling her or him what you need from them or need in that situation. So you have to grow. You have to change. You have to do things differently. If you continue to do the same things over and over, you're going to get the same results. And those are not the results you want. You want something different. And that's a scary feeling. And so I think what happens to a lot of gymnasts when you're overcoming an obstacle, or you're in a position where you keep doing the same thing and you're not seeing these results, to change is scary because it means that you're going to do something different. It means that things are not going to feel safe and secure like you're used to. They're not going to be the things that it's going to be something different. And what if it's something you don't like? What if it's just a different feeling and you can't get used to that, right? You're stuck on the old, and we all are. We all get into these habits and these patterns, and we like the things the way they are. But you have to be willing to change and grow if you're going to overcome an obstacle. So for example, if you are, upset about the way things are feeling in the gym with COVID, and, maybe there's social distancing and you're wearing masks, or you can't give your teammates hugs and high fives like you used to. And so like the whole environment there feels different for you. And you might start to feel sad. It might start to affect the way you do gymnastics. Maybe you don't really like it anymore. It's just a different feeling. And so that can really like tug on your heart and make you not excited to go. Maybe you've lost your motivation for gymnastics. Well, in order to get past that, right, you have to be willing to open your heart and open your mind and change and grow. And so maybe that means buckling down and spending more time writing your gratitude every day, writing things you are so grateful for. Because believe it or not, the more you can focus on those good things, the more those good things will come to you, the more that feeling of gratitude will come to you. So it's time for you to do some work that maybe you don't want to do, maybe work you don't like to do, but it's work that you need to do in order to grow and change and overcome these obstacles. So that was tip number 1. You have to be willing to change and grow in order to overcome the obstacle. Another tip number 2, is to realize that this obstacle was put here for a reason. It was put here for a reason. And this is your chance to enjoy the journey. So oftentimes we'll have this vision in mind, this goal that we want to get here. And all of a sudden, something will come in our way. Maybe we get injured, or, COVID happens, or things that stop us in our tracks. And we will get upset and we'll feel like, okay, I'm never going to reach that goal, or maybe that goal wasn't for me. The truth is that roadblock, that obstacle was put there for a reason. You are meant to learn something from this. And yes, it's hard to go through that, and it can be painful sometimes. Sometimes you learn things the hard way and you'd rather not. But in that journey of learning those things, you are just becoming a bigger person. You are growing and learning, and you're going to be set on a new path. And believe it or not, that new path that you are set on might be a path that you never expected, that is even better than your original path. And I think sometimes people, they get so focused, and I've done this too in my life, where I want this. And, I see the way to get there, and it's like this. And I don't realize that actually the way to get there is this journey like this, these curves and these detours. That's really what that journey is. And when you get to that final goal or that destination, and you can look back at the path that it took you to get there, you will be so grateful for all those experiences that you had that you never would have thought you would have had before. You never imagined that. And that journey and those paths, I assure you, are going to bring things, life lessons and friendships and skills and growth that you just never thought possible. So I want you to remember, when you're stuck and you're trying to overcome an obstacle, that this obstacle was put there for a reason, and that it was there for you to grow and to learn and to have an even better journey, and for you to enjoy this detour that you're going to have getting around this obstacle. Okay, so those are 2 tips to help you overcome obstacles. I know things are hard right now, and things just feel different. And whether it's, learning a new skill, or not being able to compete, or just being strange in your gym because of COVID and all the restrictions and the social distancing, or just life in general, maybe school feels hard. Like, there's so many things that are different right now. And there are so many things that can get in your way. And maybe you do have an injury, or maybe you're trying to learn a skill and you just can't, or maybe you're trying to get up to the next level and you're stuck on something. Whatever it is, just remember that was put there for a reason. You are going on a new journey, and that new journey is going to bring you to a much better place than you would have been had you gone on the straight path to your journey. So hang in there, everyone. I know these times are not easy, but we're always going to have times like this in our life. We're always going to hit obstacles. That's the point of life, is to go through this journey. And so stick with it, and just remember that you need to grow and change in order to overcome an obstacle, and that you need to enjoy the journey of this obstacle and that it was put there for a reason. So you can detour around it and have an even better journey to your end goal. So have a great day and good luck on all of those obstacles that you're trying to overcome.